Reading through the Bible, Exodus 23, beginning with verse 20. And this is where God's angel is to prepare the way for them to take over the land. See, I am sending an angel ahead of you to guard you along the way and to bring you to the place I have prepared. Pay attention to him and listen to what he says. Do not rebel against him. He will not forgive your rebellion, since my name is in him. If you listen carefully to what he says and do all that I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and will oppose those who oppose you. My angel will go ahead of you and bring you into the land of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hivites, and Jebusites, and I will wipe them out. Do not bow down before their gods, or worship them, or follow their practices. You must demolish them and break their sacred stones to pieces. Worship the Lord your God, and his blessing will be on your food and water. I will take away sickness from among you, and none will miscarry or be barren in your land. I will give you a full life span. I will send my terror ahead of you and throw into confusion every nation you encounter. I will make all your enemies turn their backs and run. I will send the hornet ahead of you to drive the Hivites, Canaanites, and Hittites out of your way. But I will not drive them out in a single year, because the land would become desolate and the wild animals too numerous for you. Little by little I will drive them out before you, until you have increased enough to take possession of the land. I will establish your borders from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the desert to the river. I will hand over to you the people who live in the land, and you will drive them out before you. Do not make a covenant with them or with their gods. Do not let them live in your land, or they will cause you to sin against me, because the worship of their gods will certainly be a snare to you. Now, in this section, the Lord says that the angel will precede them into the land, and that he is going to fight for them. So there is nothing that they need to fear, because he's preparing these hornets to go ahead to drive the people out of the land. But he also cautions that he's not going to do it immediately, but over time, so that the animals, wild animals, do not increase too much. And then he gives the dimensions of the land, from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines. And the Red Sea is near Egypt, and the Sea of the Philistines is the Mediterranean. And from the desert to the river, this is from the Southland to the Euphrates River. So it is a large territory from the Euphrates down to the Wadi of Egypt. And they are to take all of this territory, and God is going to give it to them. And then they are cautioned not to make a covenant with any of these people. Now, we read in Joshua that the first thing they do is to make a treaty with the people of Gibeon. So they break this command almost immediately. In fact, before they really take over any of the territory. So we see again and again that God cautions them about how they are to live, how they are to behave, and they fail in their effort to keep His word.